This video is about the expected number of outcomes, or the number of times something is expected to happen based on the probability. So we'll start with an example. If we flip a coin 8 times, how many times do we expect to get heads? Of course, we don't know how many. It could be all heads, it could be 7 heads then a tails, it could be 7 heads and a tails, but the tails was the second to last one. Could be heads, tails, heads, tails, heads, tails, heads, heads. Could be anywhere from 0 to 8, anywhere in between. So we don't know what's going to happen. We don't have a crystal ball. But because we do know the probability, we can say what we expect to happen. So the probability of getting heads is 1 out of 2. We expect heads about half the time. So half of 8 is 4. We would expect 4 heads. That's a pretty easy one. We wouldn't be surprised if there were 3 or surprised if there were 5, but we expect 4. So the next example, if we spin the spinner 24 times, how many times do we expect to land on green? Slightly harder problem. So again, we don't know what's going to happen, but we do know the probability, so we can say what we expect to happen. The probability of getting on green is 3 out of 12. So we expect 3 out of every 12 spins to be green. 3 out of 12 is equal to 6 out of 24. So we expect 6 out of every 24 spins to be green. So if we spin 24 times, we would expect 6 green. That would be our answer. Another way to calculate that, which is just another way of thinking of the same proportion, is to say that for each spin there is a 3 out of 12 chance of getting green. So if we do that 24 times, we have 24 times 3 out of 12, which again gets us 6. It's really just solving that same proportion. So this one's a little bit harder now. If we spin the spinner 18 times, how many times do we expect to land on green? The probability of getting green is still 3 out of 12, same spinner. We still expect 3 out of every 12 spins to be green. So that is 4.5 out of 18. Or doing it the other way, 18 times 3 out of 12 is 4.5. So we expect 4.5 out of every 18 spins to be green. So our answer is 4.5 for our expected number of times to get green. But could we really get 4.5 green? No, we can't. But we still call this the expected number of greens because the expected number of outcomes refers to what is calculated by the probability, which might not necessarily be possible. But what it is, it's a target number. It tells us what to expect. We're somewhere around 4 or 5 greens is what we expect. The calculated expected number of outcomes is 4.5. You don't round it, you leave it. So now you should be able to calculate the expected number of outcomes if we know the probability.